Ha, 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 ha. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Today, as you see, I have a list here. I know what you're sitting there wondering, yo, Matt, what's going on? What is this list? Well, I'm glad you asked that question, my friend, because I'm going to explain to you on this list, right here, piece of paper, I have reasons. Yeah, before this show, it's they're talking and whatnot. I have reasons as to why Alabama should get into this playoff. Reason number one. Well, let me just show y'all this. Let me show y'all reason number one. Let it focus. Yeah, y'all see that? There's nothing on the paper. The bottom line is we don't belong in the playoff. And there's just not enough way. We don't belong in this playoff. But it would be cool if the committee put us in. On a serious note, well, I'm showing a little something. Let me fix that. Okay, how to fix that. Here we go, guys. The reason we play the games for the playoff. If you're a fan of Chattanooga State Water Aquarium Community College, I don't expect you to expect your team to make the playoff. And even if you go to a bowl game, yeah, it's all fine and dandy. But as Alabama fans, many of us watching this video, as Georgia fans, as Clemson fans, Ohio State fans, Michigan fans, and maybe some others here and there you could sprinkle in there, it's championship or bust, or not really championship or bust, or playoff or bust. For example, last year, I think Michigan fans were kind of just content and happy with getting to the playoff. But this year, it's a different story. It's you got to win it all, or you got to chop the season up as an L. It's been a rough year for Alabama. I'm not going to go over all that. I don't know what they're really waiting on. I will say this, though. On a scale of 1 to 100, and I'm being dead serious, 1 to 100, 100% me being total confident we're getting in, 1% I'm not confident at all. Where do I stand? I'd say 1. I think we got a 1% chance of getting in. Just because, now, I don't think Alabama should go above TCU. Here's my top 4. Georgia, Michigan at 2, 3 TCU, I don't care, they lost by 3 points, had an undefeated season. TCU at number 3, and I'd have Bama at 4. I think Alabama is a better team than Ohio State, and that's where it's interesting, because the conversation has been what? Oh, who's going to get that 4th spot, TCU or Alabama? I don't think that should be the conversation. It should be Ohio State and Bama. I just don't understand. I get it. Alabama's got 2 losses. I get it. Shut up. But the 2 losses, 4 points. Ohio State's 1 loss. You got beat by 20-plus points. Now, if you want to take it to extreme levels, we'll talk about this. I'm not going to sit up here and say, well, dang, I don't want to get in. We're going to lose to Georgia anyways. I do believe that. But seriously, it doesn't matter who gets that 4th spot, and I'm going to explain why. Ohio State, Bama. It looks like TCU will get number 3. That's what I expect to see. So when Ohio State, I expect them to get this 4th spot, it doesn't matter if it was going to be Bama or Ohio State. You are going to get absolutely destroyed, Bama or Ohio State, by Georgia. Here's Georgia. You don't see that? Oh, you can't even see it. Georgia's up here. They're off the scale. You can't even see it. And here's Ohio State and Bama. And take nothing away from Ohio State and Bama. They're good, solid teams. But Georgia's different this year. They remind me a lot of them old school Bama teams. It's just, hey, let's see who's going to finish runner-up. There's no debate about it. I mean, what person right now thinks anyone outside of Georgia is going to win this championship? Maybe Michigan fans? I don't know. Let me explain it and put it in a better perspective so people like me and you can relate. This is what's happening with this playoff, it's the equivalent to, you know how when you're in 4th or 5th grade elementary school or in middle school and you're the team captain and you got to pick your dodgeball team in PE or pick your kickball team and you got the second to last pick and you got to choose between the unathletic 4'5" girl that could care less to be there or the band geek that could also care less to be there. It doesn't matter who you pick. The unathletic girl, the band geek, it just doesn't matter. That person's not going to help you on your kickball team. That's what's going on with the playoff committee. Does the committee want to pick TCU? Not really. They know they're going to lose. Does the committee want to pick Alabama? Not really. They got 2 losses. But the bottom, and same thing for Ohio State. They don't want to put Ohio State in either. But the bottom line is, somebody's got to be put in. It's 4 teams. And going back to Georgia, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I think they're about to do the rankings any minute now. This reminds me a lot of at LSU, they have a tiger that they feed it like 48-ounce sirloin steaks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, the committee basically has a big wheelbarrow, and they're either going to roll TCU, Bama, or Ohio State in there to the tiger cage, which is Georgia in this analogy. They're going to flip the bucket and say, well, have fun. Here's your meal for the day. That's literally, I think that made sense. I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say. It made sense in my head. Whoever gets in, you're just being fed to Georgia. There we go. Well, I thought they were going to do the ranking show. I don't know what's taking so long. I'll just catch you when they start doing the top 25. Yeah, top 25. Here's the funny part. They're showing the resumes with Tennessee, Alabama, Ohio State. The point margin in Tennessee's 2 losses, it's 39 points. I just don't understand Tennessee fans. You just have no argument. The only thing they bring up is, hey, we beat Alabama. Okay, you beat Alabama. Who cares? You lost the other 2 games by 50. Well, technically it was 39 points. Tennessee fans, you had the greatest year of your life. And the saddest part about it is, it still wasn't enough. Here's where the conversation gets interesting, at least to me. I personally would put TCU in. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But if Alabama, and I think we all feel this way, if Alabama and TCU play tomorrow night, I'm picking Alabama to win the game. And that's why it is a conversation, because you want to put, the committee doesn't put their lingo, their motto is, we don't want the most deserving teams. We want the 4 best teams. So if you go by that argument, and you say that Alabama's better than TCU because if they play tomorrow, everybody in that committee room, they're picking Alabama to win, doesn't that mean you should put Alabama in over TCU? I mean, that's just common sense. And I know I kind of contradicted myself because I think TCU deserves to be in over Bama because they did go undefeated. But as far as it goes for a better team, you got to give that to Alabama. And it's kind of the same thing with the MVP voting in basketball or even the Heisman in college football. The Heisman doesn't always go to the best player. It goes to the best quarterback or sometimes the best running back on more than likely one of the best teams. But think about it. You'll never see a team outside of Baylor years and years and years ago. I think it was like, 2012, 2013, something like that. You'll never see a team go 8-4 or 9-3 and have a Heisman Trophy winner outside of Baylor that one year. Because for the most part, the Heisman's going to the quarterback on the best team. Does that mean he's the best player? I don't know, but it's kind of like he's the most deserving. You get what I'm trying to say? That's what it's coming down to at TCU and Alabama. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Here, last thing I'm going to say about it, and the next time you see me, is they're going to be showing these rankings. It's like 11:20. I don't know what's taking so long. If Alabama and TCU play tomorrow night, and you told me, Matt, you got to put your house on the line, who do you think I'm picking? I think everybody, even you, if TCU and Bama play tomorrow night, you got to put your house on the line. Who are you picking? I'm picking Bama, baby. Apparently these guys on the, Kirk Herbstreit, Reese Davis, Pollock, is that Jesse? Apparently they have no idea. I actually believe that. I think they see them raw. Let's go. I knew I should have waited until like 11:25. I knew they weren't going to announce them right at 11:10. I thought they would announce them at 11:10, but now it's like 11:22. Here we go. Oh, I thought they were going to show them at once. Georgia at 1. Okay, got no problem with Georgia at 1. Got no problem. Michigan at 2. Let's go, man. Whoa, that's my heart beating. Michigan at 2. Whoa. Okay, here's the interesting stuff. Okay. Committee, if you want to make more money, send Bama to the. If you want to make more money, you put Bama in. All right, it's a win-win. You get better games. Nobody wants to watch Georgia and TCU play. Oh man. Okay, we get. Why are they talking about Georgia and Michigan? We knew they were gonna be 1-2. Let's go, man. Matt, when you're editing this, make sure you edit this part out. Nobody wants to see it. TCU at 3. That's what I said. That's what I would have them at. It comes down to this, boys and girls. They're showing the TCU reaction. Happy for TCU. I think they should be in. My biggest thing is Alabama should be in over Ohio State. Now, how can you make an argument that Alabama should jump Ohio State after both teams sitting on the couch making TikTok videos, eating cheesy puffs? I don't know, but hey, maybe the committee sat there this week and said, we messed up. Bama's better. And here's my biggest thing. Purdue gave Michigan a better game. Here we go. Jump. Yep. Ohio State at 4. It's over. The season's officially over. And I know I had low expectations, but it's still never reality until you officially see it. I have no problem with TCU getting in this thing. No problem. My problem is Ohio State. My problem is Ohio State lost by 43 to Michigan. Michigan's a good football team, but they're not that good. Have fun, Ohio State. You get to play Georgia. Georgia fans, Georgia Nation, whatever you call yourselves, I don't know. This is a message to y'all. Okay, Alabama's at 5. I know we've had our differences in the past because we've been the two best programs the past few years. But Georgia fans, I need y'all. Georgia, I need you as an SEC fan to beat the living crap out of Ohio State. And I mean that in the most disrespectful way possible. I need you to prove once again, Ohio State, that football team is fraudulent. They don't belong in this playoff. They're not one of the best 4 teams. You can't change my mind. Can't change my mind. Top 4 teams never get blown out by 20-plus points at home. I forget to mention at home. You lost to J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy is averaging 97 passing yards a game. He had 422 against y'all. You don't belong in the playoff. And it don't piss me off. It don't piss me off that Alabama didn't make it. There's been years we ain't made it before. I'm cool with it. My problem is we're better than Ohio State. We're better than them. That should be us. That should be us, man. If you genuinely think Ohio State's better than Bama, what is your argument? What? Who's your best win? Well, Matt, we beat Penn State. They're in the top 10. Penn State? That average team in the Big Ten? Penn State don't have a top 25 win. The only reason they're 10-2 is because they play cupcakes. Heck, man, I wish Alabama could play 1-11 Northwestern. 3 and what was it? Yeah. No. 3-9 Rutgers. 4-6 Illinois. Oh wait, Illinois ain't 4-6. Who was I thinking? Oh, Maryland. Yeah, Maryland, 6-6. Who else is in the Big Ten? Oh yeah, Nebraska. That's who's like 4-6. Or my bad, 4-8. You can't go 4. Sorry, 4-8. Man, the Big Ten sucks. The fact we're rewarding Ohio State for their cupcake conference wins, and they had one game to prove they were good, and they got beat by 42 points. Georgia, please. Georgia fans, I need you. I know we've had our differences, and I cannot emphasize this enough. I'm coming to you as an SEC fan. I need you to beat Ohio State by 33, minimum. This team is not better than Bama. As far as it goes for everything else, and let me make this clear, I don't think Alabama deserves to be in the playoff. Nobody deserves in. TCU and Ohio State, they don't deserve to be in. In reality, Georgia and Michigan are the only teams that deserve to be in this thing. But like I said, somebody's got to be put in. Somebody had to be rolled into this field. Ohio State's strength of schedule, 39th. Alabama's 9th. And I'll say this all day long. Texas is a better football team than Penn State. The only reason their Penn State win is a top 10 win is because Penn State plays cupcakes. Meanwhile, Texas, they play in a real conference. They play in the Big 12. Big 12's good. Big 10 sucks. It sucks. It just straight up's awful. If you're a Big 10 fan and you think the Big 10 is average, you've lost your mind. That is one of the most pitiful conferences I've ever seen. Dude, in the championship game, you had an unranked team playing in it. That won the division. I don't even want to hear what the chairman's going to say and this and that. I know what he's going to say. Yeah, Alabama's good, but they had 2 losses. 2 losses. I get it. We don't deserve to be in. We had a terrible season for Bama standards, by the way. Now we get to play in the whatever, the Chick-fil-A Sugar Bowl. Don't care. I'm going to be honest. I don't care about the Sugar Bowl. And if you're a Bama fan, you know you don't care either. I don't care if we win or lose the Sugar Bowl. Don't matter. We play for championships at Bama, man. If you think I care about some meaningless Sugar Bowl, you lost your mind. I don't care. And that's not being entitled or spoiled. It's just facts. That's the standard at Bama. It's basically playing in the 5th place game. That's what it is to me. If you ain't first, you're last. Just like Ricky Bobby said. And every college football fan should feel that way. Hey, we ain't playing for championship, don't matter. Bottom line is it don't matter. Now, I'm sure this is my immediate reaction. I'm sure reality will set in a couple of days by now. It was a good season for Bama, but it was not a great season. Even if we got in this playoff, I would pick Georgia to beat us by about 17 points. We wouldn't have gave Georgia a fight. I know Bama fans will say, Matt, well, you know, this Bama team would be motivated. I don't care, man. You ain't watched the same Bama team I've watched all throughout the season. Georgia would beat us like a drum. We are too soft this year. We're too soft. Georgia, not soft. Ohio State, now here's the thing. Alabama's soft, but Ohio State's softer. And the fact that we lost to LSU after watching that debunkle mess in the championship game yesterday, and LSU lost to Texas A&M, that's a good enough reason to keep us out. That's what I'd be saying. I'd say, heck, Alabama lost to LSU. They can't even beat Texas A&M, and they can't even compete with Georgia. So why should we put Bama in this thing? I think TCU will give Michigan a game, though. That's a good matchup for TCU because Michigan, they're not going to score a lot of points. But TCU can score points. Now, I don't think Michigan's defense is elite. I think they're really good. I don't think they're elite. So it works in TCU's favor. And I think TCU's got a better defense than what a lot of people realize. That's interesting. TCU and Michigan. Now, you knew the committee wasn't going to put Ohio State at 3. They're not going to do that rematch. That's interesting. Ohio State fans, congratulations. I do want to say this last but not least. Congratulations to my Georgia fans. Congratulations to my Michigan fans. Congratulations to my TCU fans. And sort of congratulations to my Ohio State fans. Georgia, Michigan, and TCU all had outstanding seasons. Even with TCU losing in the overtime of the championship game, I'm not going to hold that against them. Outstanding seasons. Ohio State, you're a fraud. You're overrated. You didn't have a great season. You're not a top 4 team. So semi-congratulations, but like I said, you're being rewarded with, you're about to get the brains absolutely knocked out of you by Georgia. Oh yeah, Tennessee fans, congratulations to y'all. You had the best year you're ever going to have probably for the next 15 years. It's back to sucking, little bro. I don't know what more to tell you. You had the best year you could dream of, and it still wasn't good enough. And for Bama fans, last but not least, I saved the best for last. It was a good season. I am proud of our players, of how hard they fought, how hard they played. But we just wasn't good this year. I mean, we wasn't great this year. We was good. We wasn't good enough. We had too many mental errors. And it happens. You're going to have seasons like this. Sometimes it's just not your year. Sometimes it's other teams' year, like Georgia, Michigan, TCU. So that's all there is to it. Alabama just made too many mistakes this year. And it's not like we just had one bad game. We had a bunch of bad games. Or not bad games, but just not our A games. We played our C- game a lot this year. I thought this Bama team was going to win the championship going in the offseason. I thought nobody could even compete with this Bama team, and I was extremely wrong. I was wrong. That's all it is for now. Let me know your thoughts down below. But, by the way, consider subscribing if you like content like this.